Man, doesn't that look delicious? I gotta tell you, it's worth the effort, even in the dead of winter, if you can drag out the old grill. Look at this. What a beautiful meal. Wow, what a dish. We've got a boneless pork chop, a nice chicken thigh, some sweet potato fries that have been baked in avocado oil, and broccoli, believe it or not, left over from last year's garden. Just thought it out. I love this vacuum sealer that I bought. It makes for a great meal. But hey, now that you've seen this, how does something like this come together? Well, let's go back to the beginning. Hey, it's John Furman here with Bub and Mothers. Do you ever get one of those days where you're just getting kind of impatient, you're getting tired of waiting, and it's just time. I mean, look at this. It's nice and sunny out here. However, as I swing, you can see we've got plenty of snow on both sides. And if I come along here to this side of the house, you can kind of see the same thing. But we're going to do some outside cooking. It's beautiful. It's about 40 degrees. The wind's died down. So it's time to start lighting up the fire and getting things going for the year. The big thing, though, today, we're going to do a combination. This is for people that have a charcoal grill, but they don't have a smoker. So what we're going to do is we're going to do some grilling and some smoking on the same piece of equipment. So hang on. We'll be right back. I'll give you a better view of the snow. One of the keys to doing both is when you're looking at your grill, come on in here and I'll give you an idea. If you notice, I've only got charcoal on one side, and that's what we're going to do. Charcoal is where we're going to have our direct heat, and on the other side we'll have the grate, and we'll have stuff indirect heat, and that's where we're going to get some smoking. So we're going to cook up some chicken and some boneless pork chops, and we're going to rotate them so they're going to get a little bit of direct heat and a little bit of smoke as we go through the day. So let's get inside and prep that up while the fire is getting ready.
What's the first thing you think of when you think of Maine? Exactly. Great barbecue. We are Bub and Mother's Down East Dinner Dust, and our dry rub is made with organic and Maine ingredients. Things like blueberry, maple crystals, and even custom mustard. Go to bubandmothers.com and see for yourself. That's BUBNMUTHAS.com. It works with beef, pork, chicken, and even seafood. Email bubandmothers@gmail.com for a free recipe book, and then go to bubandmothers.com and order yours today. That's right, order today at bubandmothers.com and email us for free recipes.
All right, we're going to be using both flavors of Bub and Mothers today, and we've got enough chicken that we're going to do half and half. Half will have the regular Down East Dinner Dust, and the other will have the honey and heat. Where with the pork chops, I'm just going to go straight with the honey and heat. I like that little bit of an extra zing on the chops, so let's get them ready right now. Get a good amount on there, because especially with the indirect heat and the nice little fat profile, it'll cook in really, really well. Thing is, the difference between the pork chops and the chicken, I need to get both sides of the pork chops covered. So we want to get that set up. And look at these. These are nice and thick boneless pork chops. Bone in, bone out. If we're going to go low and slow, for the whole day on a big piece of pork, I always prefer bone in. My chicken, I definitely want bone in with the skin. And you know what? Let's just get some of the honey and heat on the chicken that's going to have honey and heat. And again, on the chicken, I only do the skin side. All right. And then we'll get the dinner dust. Nice. All right. So there you have it. A nice full tray. Again, for a good meal for just about anyone. A little different. A little pork, a little chicken. And we're going to get ready to set it up. Let me go out and check on the fire. And then when we get back, we'll be putting some of this on. All right, so seeing as we're doing double duty, the one thing that we definitely want to make sure of is we've got the smoke exhaust, the vent over here, open to where we want the smoke to go. So we're going to be putting the chicken on that side and then the pork over here on the direct heat to start. So again, pork, we're going to be doing both sides. The chicken, always, 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 the non-skid skin side goes down first. Non-skid down, because we don't want the skin burning up too early. We've got a long time to cook. You know, one of the great things about grilling is that you get that unique flavor that you can't get anywhere else. You know, even using Bub and Mother's in your oven or in a pan on top of the stove, you're getting some great flavor. But that extra little bit of smoke, that little bit of crispness from the charcoal, you know, there's really nothing like it. What's nice is to be able to do both, a little bit of smoke, which adds some flavor, and some direct heat cooking. And that's what we like to do here at the old farm. So we'll see you in a bit. Okay, you can see a little extra smoke coming out. What we've done is we've added some Maker's Mark bourbon chips. These are actually shredded bourbon barrels. So again, we want the pork on the direct heat. Then we're going to put the chicken over here, and that's where the smoke is going to be going. Man, look at that. Get a little extra. Pour some seed on there. Alright. And then we're going to cover it up. Nice and tight. And you can see the smoke coming out exactly where we want it. And we'll be checking up on this periodically. And like I said, we're going to rotate the chicken and the pork so that they both get their share of smoke and direct heat, because we want them to be done completely. As we check in there, we can see, you know, we're getting some caramelization on the pork chops, a little bit of a flame, which is okay on the fat. And the chicken, like I said, we're just kind of letting it sit there, get some smoke. We'll come back in about 20 minutes and rotate everything around. Alright, so we've gone ahead and take a look in there and switched it up a bit. So now we're going to give the chicken some direct heat and give the pork chops a chance to get a little bit of smoke. Now it may seem like a little bit of extra work. Why not just leave it until they're all done? And the reason is we kind of like to see if we can coordinate and get them all done at the same time. So we're just going to leave them in there for a little bit, and we'll be flipping them over probably in about 15 minutes. Alright, we're looking at some goodness. We'll just rotate a little bit. Get some of these near that higher heat. So we can start stacking them now. and make sure that they get a good cook. You know, we want both pork and chicken. It's really important to make sure they're done. There is no rare with those meats. So we're definitely going to cover them up for a little bit. As you can see, we've just given the chicken a good flip. What we're going to do, it's not quite done yet, but we want to kind of crisp up the skin to keep the juice inside. So once the skin is crisped up, probably about 10-15 minutes, we'll turn them back over, move them back over to the smoke side, let them cook a little bit slower. The pork chops are coming along nicely. We want to keep them nice and moist as well. So we'll be right back. All right, if we get a little smoke clear in there, look at that skin. It's nice and crispy. The pork chops are getting nearly done. We're keeping them a little bit away from the heat, but we want to keep them warm enough that they're going to continue cooking. All right, they're not done yet, but man, I'll tell you what, it's looking great.